let's discuss CHAN. How Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania in the Pamoja bid successfully hosted the CHAN tournament that is about to be concluded. For context, and I always like the figures, is that Uganda spent 13 million US dollars in its bid, which of course CAF gives you a game to spend. And also I think they spent 1 billion towards the promotion of the whole campaign. And I was seeing the figures that on the average per match day, they would be spending 147 million. But let's talk about, and of course our team went out, was eliminated by Senegal in the quarterfinals, losing 1-0. We have hosted the third placement playoff, I think, and the final is coming. Uganda, though the ticket was cheap, but it had the most expensive in the region. It was cheaper in Kenya and in Tanzania. There was confusion about where our players were sleeping in the hotel in Chisasi. But on the large, it was a successful tournament with a few or no glitches as far as the pitch is concerned, the preparation, the e-ticketing. And it made news because we're talking about it because it dominated the news, and it has for the past 3 or so weeks.
The planning, for the thing that you want in the end, because the AFCON thing, the AFCON is coming in 2027. That's about a year or so.
And Hoima
from
City
now.
Stadium is
The
taking
Hoima
shape.
City Stadium has taken shape.
Sima is doing a very wonderful project.
Very, very wonderful. So you want to say, what are the things that we need to successfully host these people? First of all, we need roads. So that you cannot plan now in absentia of the central planning unit of the country or of the city. Let's say we are playing in Kampala here.
We've had residents of Mukono and thereabouts crying about the traffic on match days.
Today I was actually with someone who stays in Chirinya, and he's been saying on match days,
It's
I want to remain home.
I have a friend who, on some of the match days, slept around Kampala hotels just to know I can't go back to Mukono and make it in time.
It's terrible.
My schedules the next
So
day.
if you want to be successful, to have people come over to host some of those tournaments, we can do it. Rwanda does it, and they're much smaller economically compared to us. But we must be able to say, if how are we are applauding Suma for doing the Hoima Stadium really well. What are the roads that go to Hoima? Can players find, can a pitch camp and say we are pitched camp in Hoima? There's an airport coming up. Can we just be flying from there to play our games and go back? Something like that. Can the hotels
Good planning
be sufficient to take care of all the people? Is the security enough? There's a friend of mine I told you lost 2 phones in the qualifiers of AFCON qualifiers and vowed never to go back to Namboli.
I get you.
So
that one, at least the teeth were spared. People lose phones and teeth.
You have to work on security. We have to do our road systems. I'm glad the e-ticketing thing has come, and of course many Ugandans had not warmed up to it until they now couldn't get a ticket. Now that's when they knew it was serious.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the change in culture that we need. The people that we are not going to just line up and fight for who gets in first. No.
And they are forged and NASA road tickets. Yes.
You apply for a ticket online and you get it. It has your ticket number, it has the section you'll sit on, it has your seat number, and everything is organized. But on the whole, I want to applaud them. I want to applaud FUFA and the people there. They've done a wonderful job. The national team has done well.
Ogwang has done a wonderful job.
Yeah, he has done a wonderful job. I'm told the cabinet minister has also been in some meetings with FUFA asking for accountability and making sure that the local sport gets to some mileage. So I applaud them. They do, because sport.
But those flowers were taken away by FUFA and the new format of the Uganda Premier League, because it also made news, and there's been letters flying around here. For the first time, we saw the unity of Mulindwa and Mandela jointly opposing this.
Yes, I am very proud to belong to SC Villa, and our chairman of the party of the club, Mandela, came out to oppose, and our and our board. Same with Mulindwa, and I think I saw a letter from council. I don't remember.
At first, I think they changed positions, now leaning towards some amendments.
Yes. Yes, but shame upon shame upon Express FC. I mean, you're a victim. You're a historical
Mukwano
team.
Gwabanji is no longer
Mukwano
Mukwano
Gwabanji.
Gwabanji.
It's a shame. However, I think that this kind of system is something that should be implemented. Cannot be implemented immediately. We're counting just a few weeks to the new season starting. Teams have made their budgets.
You drop a bomb.
Teams have made their budgets. Teams have made, and those budgets depend upon entry fees into the stadiums and everything. And then you just try to overhaul this whole system.
I think for me, the biggest tilt was in terms of sponsorship. Because if you're crying that the league should grow, teams need sponsorship to be able to pay better their players and etc. But if you have a scenario where now the sponsor will not sponsor a mid-table team knowing that it might drop out earlier and play lesser matches. So it's even harder for you to grow the bigger picture of the league and see, because when Uganda lost its first match against Algeria, the speech that was given by the FIFA president was saying we are losing because our league is not weak, up to the standard of the other African nations. But if you're not doing something, I don't think this was an immediate move to make for you to demonstrate that you want to lift the league to that standard that he was talking about.
Well, I hope the conversations can continue. You see, the problem with Uganda is that people are intimidated. I don't think that the rest of the 16 minus 3 is what?
That's
13. The rest of the 13 PL teams are really warming up to the project. First of all, they're looking at how it advantages them, because some of the small teams don't have gate collection fees.
Yeah.
So when they look at that sharing, that car revenue, then FIFA giving them some money, they prioritize it over
the big names
picture,
that
But also, there is a place where some people are intimidated by the FIFA president, so they don't want to be seen to be in opposition. So
that's why only the big clubs are coming.
Yeah, only the big clubs that
that have nothing to lose and think they're bigger than
they can stand on their own, are coming out to say no, this is not a good proposal.
And they have the biggest sponsorships, of course.
Yes, so. And they have the financial muscle. They're saying this proposal is not the best to push this league forward. So I hope that the conversation can be held in a very neutral environment, so that these decisions are not forced. Because if you put it to a vote, definitely these guys will lose. I mean, 13 clubs are saying let's do this.
Yeah.
We're okay with this.
I know we've discussed a lot. I know a lot made news, and for someone who does not watch news, has gotten a hold of what has been happening in our beautiful Pearl of Africa, which I believe will get better and better, and we can't go back to where we came from. So what was your biggest highlight for the week that we are bidding farewell? And what are you looking forward to next in the coming weeks?
Well, my biggest highlight, we have discussed, surely the news was on NEC, because
on
SEC, sorry. What happens at the biggest political party's vote has a big line of relationship with how the general election is going to go. So we can look forward, but I see as if we're transitioning from the old guard to the new. So expect very new faces in the political arena. Even in the appointments in the cabinet, it will be reflected therein, because surely the winds of change must come naturally. Even if you delay them for how long, the time must come when the winds of change come. So I don't know if this is happening naturally, or if it is someone has noticed that,
things have to change,
and they decide to change that way. In the coming week, we'll continue to watch the political space, mostly to see how other parties respond. We're yet to get the flag bearers of the National Unity Platform.
It will break the news very soon.
It will break the news. We expect a lot of news to come through that.
I get it. It will be a rich time for those who break the news.
It will be. And let's watch the political space, and also how other parties continue to fare the square up to 2026.
Thank you.
Welcome
for having us and feeding the nation and helping us break the news and what made news in the week. So as the ruling party continues to assert itself and protecting the gains that they think they have for the nation. We wait to see how that will turn out, even more, and how the economy will change. I think the weather is now fair in the country, in all the regions, and even the people who didn't receive rain in the Kato corridor have received some rain. We had very many deaths reported for animals in the extreme of the weather, but all the regions of the country are now receiving some fair share of the rain. It's well, and all is well back at home, and we hope that it can
What is
continue
not
to
well,
be.
Harold? I think that the weather pattern, we must find a way of making that permanent, because as you have seen, what are we going to do now to shield ourselves from the next long
Extremes.
drought?
Mechanized and modern farming techniques.
Yes, we have to find that. Otherwise, it's going to be in season. We are grateful. Out of season, in the long droughts, animals are dying. So we must find a permanent solution and find it soon. This is not.
I happen to represent a client whose capacity for the factory that uses partly maize cannot even find a quarter of his capacity in Uganda.
Wow.
And they are going to Tanzania to look
Zambia.
to Zambia, all the way down to Zambia. And they try to get exemptions from URA and they can't. And there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot that we can tap into if we can sit on the table and see what needs to be emphasized and realign our priorities.
Sure.
We will end the checkmate on that. And thank you for coming today. Special thanks to our producer. And
Yes.
though he's looking suspicious, but also people who are hosting us at Pelton.
Yes.
If you are shooting anything, not the normal photo studios, but if you have a podcast, if you are hosting anything and you want a very beautiful space, as you can see in the background, please reach out to Pelton. The name is running down on the screen and the contacts that you can call, and they'll be sure to host you and you can book an appointment.
Beautiful space, wonderful lighting, good sound system, everything that you need.
The room is rented.
You'll find here at Peloton Spaces. They are hosts for this podcast, The Checkmate.
Thank you for tuning in and giving us your attention. We see you next week as we discuss what will be making news in the Pearl of Africa. But for me and my friend Nicholas, see you and thank you very much. God bless you.